Hi, my name is Nicole Jones. I'm the marketing manager here at CopyPress. I'm joined today by Brent Csutoras. Hi.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. Thanks for agreeing to do an interview with me.
It's my pleasure, of course.
So, are you having a fun time at Pubcon so far?
Pubcon this year has been extremely busy, but it's definitely been fun. There's been a lot of extra stuff with all, there has come together with quite a few extra events here. Like you have the Epic Dinner, you have like the Search Awards this year. So between the sessions, between running our booth over there as well, and between all the extracurriculars, it's a little tiring, but it's been fun.
Yeah, it's easy. I'm feeling a little burnout.
It's the last day, so.
Yeah, you can sleep later, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, I see you have a speaker ribbon on. Did you speak today?
I actually spoke yesterday. It was a session that we were doing on social integration into overall marketing campaigns. And it was decent. It turned out to be me by myself, so it ended up being a spotlight session, I guess, in some ways. I think Jeff called it that when I was telling him about it. But no, it was a decent session. I talked about, I segued quickly into talking about just tips for how people can get more out of their content, right? A lot of people spend their time writing content. They really don't think about, the effect it's going to have or how much they're going to get out of it. They rush it out the door a lot of times, don't spend the time to make it packaged for people to easily share it. And so I talked about just stuff like, if you're going to have an infographic, do a right-click blocker so it pops up with an embed code. So you don't show the embed code on the page because of the controversy around the issues. Google's been saying they're kind of watching some of the embed code stuff.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so the concern is that every time people do something, there's always a group of people who make it bad, right? And so what would happen with infographics is people obviously wanted to get links or some kind of exposure from it. And so it became a trick that they would do where they would use the embed codes and they would swap out, put SEO wording or a link back to a different site or link to a certain section of the site. And so what Matt from Google had come out and said is that we're not very happy about people being tricky, and using embed codes when people don't know any better to slip in kind of slick little links. So one of the things I was telling people is that, look, there's nothing wrong with an embed code. Just don't try to use it as a trick. Use it to the actual image or to the page that it's on. Don't try to come up with SEO wording or anything. And I said, honestly, why even show it? I like to use like a little tag that's like, you want to share this image or you want to use this image, here's the embed code. I mean, you go to YouTube, you don't see an embed code. You see a share button that has an embed code option, right? So, right-click blockers will allow you to pop up stuff, and you can pop up and say, hey, you can use the image if you want, just please use this code and then make sure it's legit code. So just, lots of tips, along the way of how you can make content have a better chance of getting social signals and links, which in my opinion right now are two very, very important elements.
So, is that a plugin for that right-click blocker?
No, there's a lot of solutions out there. I'm sure there probably might be a plugin. It's basically meant to disable the right click so that you can't, but a lot of times people when they right click will say, sorry, you can't download it. There's options to kind of tweak that code. So I don't know if there's anything out of the box for that, but if you talk to a developer, if you talk, look around at some plugins, I'm sure you can find a starting place and a solution that would do that.
So are you having a lot of luck at your booth over there?
It's been interesting. I mean, our booth here is for Search Engine Journal, and we've been doing a lot of interviews. That's something we've been really focusing on, taking a lot of photos and a lot of interviews. So, I mean, we've had a lot of interesting conversations. Eli Schwartz from SurveyMonkey was there talking about how they do keyword research in foreign languages and how they actually look at how people use the translated wording so they can actually find out. How we would do it for SEO here. We would say, well, sure, those are the industry terms, but is that what your audience is really searching? And so talking about going that extra mile to really find out what they're searching and how they're searching in foreign countries when you're doing international SEO. So there's been a number of really good conversations throughout the week, good interviews and good information. So we're pretty, we feel like it's going really well.
So are you going to publish this stuff on the site?
Yeah. So all the interviews we did, I think we did quite a few interviews with you guys as well. All the interviews that we did are all going to go on Search Engine Journal on a YouTube page, and they'll be spread out. We're going to do a couple a day, and we have probably over 100, and so it'll take a little while for them to all get out.
Wow, so I got to get busy, I guess, and keep up with you guys.
There you go. It works. I mean, it's fun. I personally, this is my first time doing the actual interviews instead of being interviewed. So like, host them, and I'm actually really enjoying it. And I find myself going around looking for people to interview, and it's quite a bit of fun. I think it's fun, at least.
Yeah, I was a little nervous, more than a little nervous. I was nervous, but I've really enjoyed getting to know people and picking their brain. And I keep getting yelled at for running over time because the more questions I ask, the more I want to know, and then
Exactly,
I end up
right?
wanting them to give their speech to me.
All of mine are over time, so don't worry. That's what they have editors for, so they'll fix it all up for you.
All right. Well, thank you. It's been a pleasure speaking with you, Brent. Thank you so much.